big man ting, smash the like button and subscribe. So as you've seen by the title of this video and on your screen now, the independent newspaper and a number of other official exclusive proprietary sources have said that Tyson Fury is looking to pay step-aside money to Deontay Wilder. Now I've got an exclusive recording of Tyson Fury requesting this. Deontay Wilder, you big dosser. Me and Anthony Joshua, two real fighting men. We want to get it on. Step aside, you big little skin leg dosser. We heard your legs are tired. Your legs are too tired, son. Sit down. Have a rest. Step aside. There you go. So you heard the recording there. Fury basically saying that Wilder, you've talked about how your legs are tired and you just need to sit down and take a step aside. Never mind step aside. How about sit aside? Because obviously step aside requires standing up. And you've talked about your legs are knackered. So go and sit. I think, to be fair, I think these newspapers and Tyson Fury himself and Team Fury themselves have been very inconsiderate. Yeah, in this situation, using them words, step aside. Did you really have to bring your legs into it? Come on, guys. You should have said shuffle aside, or bum shuffle aside, or sit aside. Yeah. We know he's just told you his legs are knackered, and you're telling him to use his legs to step aside. Come on, man, be fair now. Let's be fair. Yeah? Come on. But anyway, on a serious note, what does the YB think of this? Well, my views are pretty clear on this. I think both men, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, are not yet at their peak. Don't get me wrong. I'm backing AJ the same way either way. AJ will merkle this guy in 6 months' time or in a year time. You got to remember, many people got very short memories. AJ's been the one who's been chasing Fury and chasing Wilder all around the gaff for 2 years. He loves to be in there. He loves to be under the lights. That's why he's been the one sending contracts. And now, whilst, once again, I respect Fury's performance, I was the one, me and about 2 other people, which were his own family members, were the only ones talking about how he can win this fight by stoppage. Yeah, let's get that right. But still, AJ has been the one who wants this fight. Now, I've always said, historically, that I believe that Fury's motive was to get the WBC belt and then unify with AJ. That said, the proof's in the pudding. We've got to wait for one of them ones. We've got to wait to see if he now comes through on it, which I think he will. Like I said, I did a video today. Tyson Fury talked about having a little tickle with AJ and whatnot. But that said, negotiations are negotiations. However, I will be, once again, honest that Fury got it done with Wilder. And they did a 50-50 split. Now, that's an interesting conversation, you know. Is it 50-50 now? You know what? After Fury going in there and splattering Wilder like that, now 50-50, I'm not really going to argue it. I'm not. Especially when, well, allegedly, people are telling me these record numbers have been done. If these record numbers have been done, then what can I say? I've always said, I'll go with the numbers. And not only that, I do count performances. And at the moment, even though AJ would have done worse things to Wilder, still, Fury got the opportunity and he took the opportunity. Now, if Fury had gone in there and won by points, I wouldn't be sitting here saying he deserves or he should get 50-50, not even a bit. But the fact he's gone in there and his market value is gone up astronomically. And this is the difference, you know. If people were wondering, oh, why haven't the fans loved Fury after the Klitschko win? That was because it was dry as anything. People don't want to be watching that at heavyweight boxing or any boxing, to be honest, but especially heavyweight. This is what happened on February 22nd is exactly what people want to watch. That there was a 10 out of 10 number one boxing lesson. That was a true boxing lesson, and that was a true amazing performance. People were trying to tell me if December 1st, 2018 was an amazing performance and a boxing lesson, what was this then? And that's the problem when people don't know don't know how to classify fights. Yeah, December 1st was boring, shocking, and no good. This one was amazing, and that's increased his market value, especially on the back of AJ going 12 rounds, for example. But either way, I think the fact that 50-50 now makes more sense. It should be easy to do. I'm just hoping that fish eyes don't start being try and be smart, because we've already heard fish eyes talking about 60-40 and this, that, the other. And if that's the case, it's just not going to happen. It's just not. It's never going to happen. Never. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Unless they've sold, like, maybe, I don't know. But then again, I'm sitting here, I was about to say, if they've sold 2 million pay-per-views, maybe it is 60-40. But then I thought, well, no, because we don't know what AJ versus Wilder would do in the US. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not really fair. AJ hasn't been given, them two, for whatever reason, have not given him the opportunity to take the fight. Yeah? And what makes it mad, you know, I'm pretty sure Wilder just fought Fury just fought Wilder on a 60-40 basis. The WBC mandated this fight at 60-40, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was 50-50. The first fight. And because remember, the first fight guarantees were 4 million for Wilder and 3 million for Fury. So why was Fury prepared to accept 60-40 against Wilder, but then laugh at AJ, even though AJ's 60-40 is like 10 times more than Wilder's? He literally would have made 30 million, 10 times more. But anyway, that's all. I don't really want to be getting into splits and whatnot, and I'm happy at the moment now just to move on and crack on with this fight. The step aside, should Fury and AJ pay the step aside? From what I'm hearing, the Saudis are going to be offering 300 million. If that's the case, pay Wilder 10, get him out of the way, whatever. However, I don't see the problem with it building. Let it build. As long as both men, AJ and Fury, need to sit down and have a strategic conversation and basically say to each other, listen, what are your plans going forward? Fury, are you planning to go in there and murk Wilder again? AJ, are you planning to go in there and murk Pulev and Usyk? If they both say yes to them questions, then they should wait the year and not pay the step aside. Number one, because that's $10 million in your own bank you haven't got to waste. And number two, because it's only going to build. However, if Fury comes out, if they sit down and AJ says, oh no, I'm thinking of boxing Pulev and I'm thinking of boxing Usyk, and Fury says I'm thinking of boxing Wilder, then no, don't do that. Because that's just going to kill the vibe. This is the reason it's hot now is because AJ still got his knockout clout. And Fury's coming off the best win of his career by miles, kind of thing. They need to really have a good sit down, and I believe it will happen, because we've seen him on the phone and whatnot, and that ITV documentary where we saw AJ on the phone with Fury, that's just one documentary. We don't know what goes on 365 24/7. I'm sure they've had more dialogue. So I'm very whilst in the past we've been negative towards or not believing Fury wants it, I actually think I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here. Like I've always said, we've got to remember Fury isn't the one who's avoided power. Fury isn't the one who's avoided athletes all of his life. Chisora, been in there, tick the box twice. Yeah, Vlad, been in there, tick the box. Didn't do the rematch, but whatever. He went and fulfilled the Wilder rematch, proving he isn't shook of rematches. Wilder been in there with him twice, so we do have to give him that credit. Now AJ is a different animal, and now you got John Fury talking about how Anthony Joshua, he's no good, he's too stiff, all this kind of stuff. Listen, AJ, you know AJ's another level. Yeah, AJ, he's like a more he's got, in my opinion, he's got everything Wilder's got, and then 10 times more. No word of a lie. Right hand for right hand. I think AJ's is just the same as Wilder's, if not better. And you can sit there and laugh at me, but the truth of the matter is, where was Wilder's right hand last night against his one of his first world level opponents? Where was it? Oh, it disappeared again. The same as last time. In December 2018, it disappeared. Oh, the same as January 2015 against Bermain Stavern when it disappeared. Yeah? I bet you bottom dollar, put Wilder in there with Andy Ruiz, his right hand will be bouncing off the same way AJ's was. Wilder's power is massively overrated. I'm sorry, it is. Massively overrated. Every time it's come to proving it, it's disappeared. Where was it at the weekend? Choked. Where was it December 18? Choked. That's the bottom line here. Overrated. And not only that, Even if you want to say AJ's right hand is a little less powerful, look at all the other skills he's got. The ability to throw inside shots, the ability to mix it up. Look at the Dillian White fight. If that's not mixing it up, I'm not sure what is. Now, it's that Dillian White versus AJ. It wasn't Holyfield versus Burt Cooper, but these are the skills that AJ's going to work on. If I was AJ, I'd bring Chisora into every camp from now on. Regardless of who you're fighting, just get Chisora in there and get used to this. Because the great thing is about the Fury fight, AJ can be Mike Tyson to Fury, because he's 3 inches smaller, so he can go in there on Fury's chest. And does that make sense? You can go in there and roll and slip. You can live out some of these fantasies. Normally you can't because you're the taller man, but on this occasion, Fury's the skinnier, longer man. So you can go in there now and start actually implementing some of these Mike Tyson things that you've talked about in your past. Anyway, step aside money. I always get fascinated with the matchup, but should it happen? Should they pay this step aside fee? Yes or no? Me? No, not right now. Not right now. I want to see it build. I'm happy for the next year to build, assuming it actually happens. If that makes sense. If the case was that if it doesn't happen in 6 months, it never happens at all, then of course happen in 6 months. But I'm saying, assuming we're going to get it next year, I'd rather have it next year. Because we haven't, people, I don't know about you, but I like the hype of things. And Fury versus AJ, that wasn't even on our radar. Let's be real, as AJ fans, we thought Fury was finished. We thought Fury, his power isn't no AJ power, but still, we thought Fury was completely pillow fisted. Let's be real now. We thought he was SHOT'd. We thought he had pillow fists, etc., etc. So the fact is, he's not that. The fact is that's not the case, and he's just stopped Wilder. I want to see this little thing. I want to see this build. I want to see, can Fury go in there and do it again to Wilder? I want to see, can AJ go in there and dominate Pulev and Usyk first, and then get the ultimate prize. Otherwise, there's still a few questions I want answered. AJ, for example, I want to see him go in there. I want to know before he fights Fury. I want to know that he is gonna go in there and do a demolition job on Usyk and Pulev. Fury, I want to know that, not that it's a fluke, but I want to know that he can back it up again. Because bearing in mind, this is the first time we've seen Fury in God knows how many years. Even the Cunningham win, this was miles better than the Cunningham win, because the Cunningham win was pure chin down, hands up. This was he'd implemented his skills from the Peter Fury camps and whatnot. But I want to see him do it again against an opponent who is expecting it this time. Does that make sense? Like, it's almost as if you get one for free. The first time Fury, or some people argue Fury beat Wilder on the basis that Fury's got that tricky style. He catch you slipping, catch you lacking. Now, he caught Wilder lacking the first time. The second time, he completely changed it up again. So you can argue that he's been caught off guard. So the ultimate thing is now going into a third fight of Wilder, that's going to be listen, he's dominated him anyway. I think I'll back him to dominate him again. But I want to see, can Wilder, let's see how good Wilder is. We've seen AJ come back and completely change himself. I don't think Wilder's no AJ. I've always said that. But still, let's see it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm happy these, bearing in mind, these fights for me, they're not like we're talking about bum fights. Like, if it was, alright, we can have AJ versus Fury in 6 months, or you're going to have Fury versus Wallin and AJ versus, I don't know, pick some random people, then I'll be saying, yeah, you know what, I don't want to see them, get out of the way. But the fact that they're going to be fighting high caliber people anyway, Usyk, high caliber, allegedly bashed Vlad around. Pulev, he's not massively high caliber, but still he's up there. He's mandatory. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously Wilder up there. So throwing him in there, I'm happy for this to build. I'm happy for this to build. I really am. That's what I'd rather have. But I'll take either. I'm not going to sit here and cry if this episode gets made. But if you think about it, this fight allegedly will happen in, what was it? What are they talking about? I don't know. Was it July or November or something? Either way, I'm happy to wait a bit for this. We've spent years talking about AJ and Wilder. I feel like This AJ and Fury deserves a year. A year isn't long, guys. A year really isn't long. This deserves a year to marinate. A good year to marinate. And also, on Fury's point of view, I've talked about how I want to see AJ come back and be explosive. I also want to see Fury spend a bit more time at the Kronk and work on his shots. Now, as a pure AJ fan, I shouldn't really say that. I should say that, oh, I want Fury to go in there pillow-fisted, but I don't. I'm a boxing fan, I've always said that. I want to see the best Fury versus the best AJ. I want to see AJ with his tools fully sharpened, and I want to see Fury having spent another year at the Kronk, getting that. See what I'm saying? I want to see these two animals come up against each other, and I want to see the African heart versus the Gypsy heart. Not on a secular level, but I'm just talking about this pure competitive nature of it. That's what I want to see, and I feel that at the moment, neither man, Fury nor AJ at this point is complete. Another year from now, they both will be complete after their performances, or the next year of training will round them off nicely. That's what I believe anyway. But like I said, some people will listen to this and say, "Oh, YB, he's shook of this, that, the other." Listen, I'll take it right now. No problem at all. No problem at all. And the reason I'm so confident is because, like I said, AJ's been the one chasing these guys around the place. Don't forget that. You're making out as if AJ's been sitting there quiet and all of a sudden Fury's called him out. AJ's been begging for this matchup. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know yours.